We're going to look at how a conspiracy theory gets oxygen and grows, and it can very quickly become so big that even finding out it's not true won't debunk it for the people perpetuating it. Wait, what am I talking about? I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you the genesis of a conspiracy. Some might say the oranges of a conspiracy, for lack of a better term. We're going to look at an interview on the Joe Rogan podcast with a guy he goes by the name Hotep Jesus. I guess his name is Brian Sharp, but he goes by Hotep Jesus. Himself a spreader of conspiracy theories of all kinds. Hotep Jesus has previously said that the Atlantic slave trade was a myth, that the vast majority of African Americans are the original Native Americans, and many other conspiracy theories. Okay. Hotep Jesus appears on the Joe Rogan program, and Joe Rogan brings up the widely debunked claim that Australia was going to pass a law to ban anybody from growing their own food. You know how I grow my radishes and my cukes and my zooks in the backyard, all of that stuff? The claim from Rogan is in Australia, that would be against the law. Now, it's not true. We're going to look at the clip, and I want you to really look at first how long they spend talking about how terrible it is that Australia is doing this until they get the idea to look for an article. They can't find any articles, and then Rogan goes, oh man, it might not be a real story. But then Hotep Jesus says, even if it's fake, the fact that you thought it is probably a warning that they're going to do it at some point. And this is the epitome of not finding evidence fuels us believing it's probably true because maybe the evidence is being hidden. This is a genius, and genius in a terrible way, clinic on conspiratorial thinking. And they spent a bunch of this episode slamming so-called fake news. And then they fell for it and they perpetuated it. Take a look at this.
You know, I want to find out what this is, but I read something briefly and I didn't get into the article. But they were saying that they were trying to pass a bill that would outlaw you growing your own food in Australia.
Whoa. Oh my
Oh
God.
my God.
Did you read that?
Nah.
It was a part of Australia. I think it was New South Wales.
Okay.
Someone was trying to pass a law that won't allow you to grow your own food. And they were saying, well, you could grow your own food, and what if the disease is from your food?
So now Rogan is ridiculing the things that the people saying growing your own food is bad supposedly said, but the whole story's fake. Now they're ridiculing imaginary people.
It infects the population, kills us all.
Oh, they
we
pulled
can't
that.
have that.
Oh, they pulled that card.
I want to know what their justification was, but I'm pretty sure it had to do with like agricultural contamination or, like, I mean, you could justify it if you're a real piece of shit. You could say, well, most pandemics have come from agriculture, animal agriculture. We can't have unchecked pig ownership. That's not fair. We can't if you're growing vegetables. What if your vegetables have ergot in them and diseases? Fucking creeps, man. These fucking creeps, they got a good grip on people during the pandemic. They locked everybody down in Australia, and then you know what? We gotta stop these motherfuckers from growing their own food, because that's how you smoke out an anti-vaxxer.
And look at now the story is fake, and it's now being built up into this is part of the control. You tell people, you go crazy in Australia with COVID. You tell people they can't go to the grocery store and they can't grow their own food in order to force anti-vaxxers to go and get themselves vaccinated because otherwise they'll starve. It's a 3-layer conspiracy theory now, all based on nothing. And now is when it starts to turn and they go, maybe we should find some evidence that this actually is happening.
Yeah.
You can't even go to the grocery store anymore, and you can't grow your food.
No, dependent.
Take that shot, bitch. Did you find anything?
You are now dependent upon the state.
Passes bill.
I mean, I know what to look for. I'm just, nothing's coming up. The closest thing I could find was something like this. That's not
New
what
food. No,
you
it's
were
not.
saying.
It's not in New
It's New
Zealand.
Zealand.
It's in Australia.
I know, but this is close.
New
and
Zealand is like right around the corner.
could have.
Right.
There's
Doesn't matter that Rogan's talking about Australia. If they find it in New Zealand, it's close enough, but it's not there either.
God, it's got to be a real thing. It seems too good to not be.
It's obviously.
I typed in outlaw growing food in Australia, and not a single thing comes up.
Uh-oh.
Hold on.
Except for that, which was a false thing.
Growing your own food.
They want us completely dependent.
So Hotep now, he's unfazed by the fact that there's no evidence of this story. He's like, this is part of them wanting us dependent.
Yeah, I can't find it either.
Oh,
Damn
no.
it. It better not be fake. It might be fake.
But even if it's fake, right? Like the fake is usually the warning.
Even if it's fake, the fake is usually the warning. That's the epitome of these people. If they had found an article saying this was happening in Australia, the article would be the proof. They didn't find the article. So it was a fake story. Now that's the proof it's probably coming, because the fake stories usually come before it becomes a real story. It's the warning. This is unbelievable. And almost 3 minutes, half of which is just building on they don't want to let you grow their own food. Well, that's not true. The reason they don't want to do it is to smoke out anti-vaxxers, to force them to go and get vaccinated by making them unable to grow their own food and not letting them go to grocery stores unless they're vaccinated. So that's layer number 2. Layer number 3, this is part of the general. They want to control you and they want you to be dependent. Oh, it turns out it's not real. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. It's probably the fact that you thought it was is a sign that at some point it will be. And one of the most brilliant things is as Rogan starts to realize it's fake, the guest doesn't care. And Hotep Jesus is like filling the dead air by saying they want us dependent. They want to control us. He's not even reacting to the fact that there's no story. He just keeps going, filling the dead air. And it hits all the points of conspiratorial thinking, including that the absence of evidence. Rogan thought it. They find no evidence. That's part of the conspiracy. That's probably a sign that it's coming. It is textbook clinic on this stuff. And by the way, they almost seem disappointed that it's not true. It would be terrible if you weren't allowed to grow your own food. They should be overjoyed. Oh my God, what great news. You can grow your own food in Australia. You can do it. They're not overjoyed. They're almost like bummed out that the story's not real. Unbelievable stuff. Scary. And probably a bunch of people still came away from that believing that it's true that Australia won't let you grow your own food. Scary stuff. One of our sponsors is called Privacy. Privacy is a totally free service that I've been using for years. Privacy lets me create virtual payment cards with one click. And when I use the virtual card, the money is taken out of my bank account. You can create multiple cards, delete them, freeze them, set a spending limit on them. Let's say I'm signing up for a free trial and it requires a credit card. Privacy will autofill a virtual card number. And then after signing up, I can delete that virtual card. So I know I'm not going to be charged again. Something really useful and very practical. Or let's say I'm ordering food over the phone, but I left my wallet somewhere. I don't have my real credit card on me. I can use a virtual card on my Privacy mobile app. But really the best part is you're not out there exposing your real credit card number, so you're not as susceptible to data breaches and identity theft. Privacy is a totally free service, and you'll get $5 to spend when you go to privacy.com/Pacman. The link is right underneath this video.